Imagine this. You're standing in line at your favorite coffee shop, phone in hand, ready to tap and pay for your usual order. Takes 2 seconds. Feels like nothing. And that's exactly the problem. Because here's the thing. That coffee you just bought, your brain didn't register it as spending money. Not really. And by the end of this month, you're going to look at your bank account and wonder where the hell $1,500 went, even though you barely bought anything. Sound familiar? My name's Ansh, and I spend way too much time thinking about why cashless payments are secretly destroying your financial life. If you're someone who uses Apple Pay, Google Pay, or just taps your card for everything and then feels genuinely confused when your bank account is empty 2 weeks before payday, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because what I'm about to show you is something that payment companies really don't want you to understand. Now look, I'm not some old guy yelling at clouds, telling you to go back to cash and gold coins. Cashless payments are convenient, they're fast, they're the future. I use them too. But here's what most people don't realize. That convenience comes with a psychological price tag that's costing you thousands of dollars every single year, and you don't even know it's happening. MIT did a study, and this is wild, where they had people bid on basketball tickets. Half the group could only pay with cash, the other half could pay with a credit card. Same tickets, same people, same everything. The credit card group bid 100% more, double, for the exact same thing. Why? Because when you're not handing over physical money, your brain literally doesn't process it as a loss. The pain of paying, and yes, there's actual neuroscience on this, basically disappears. Here's the thing. Your brain evolved over millions of years to understand physical trade. I give you 3 chickens, you give me a tool. I can see the chickens leaving my possession. There's a visceral, emotional response to that loss. But when you tap your phone, you're triggering the same neural pathways as playing a video game. There's a little animation, a satisfying beep, maybe a check mark. Your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine because you successfully completed a task. You didn't spend money, you won at the purchasing game. And the payment companies know this. They spend millions of dollars making these interfaces as frictionless and satisfying as possible. That's not an accident. That's psychological warfare on your wallet. Now you might be thinking, okay, Ansh, but I track my spending, I check my bank app, I'm aware of what I'm spending. And hey, maybe you are. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you could tell me, off the top of your head, exactly how much you spent yesterday? Not approximately, exactly. Because here's what the research shows. People who use cashless payments underestimate their spending by an average of 23 to 30%. Think about that for a second. If you spend $3,000 a month, you think you spent $2,300. You're off by almost $800. And that's not because you're bad at math or irresponsible. That's because the system is designed to forget. This is where it gets interesting, because the problem isn't just that you're spending more, it's that you're making worse decisions about what you're spending on. There's this thing called payment decoupling. Fancy term, simple concept. When you swipe or tap, you're decoupling the pleasure of getting something from the pain of paying for it. Let me give you a real example. You buy a gym membership, let's say $40 a month, auto debit from your account. You go twice, get busy, stop going. But that $40 keeps coming out every single month. With cash, you'd notice $40 missing. You'd feel it. But with auto pay, it's invisible. A study from the University of Berkeley found that people keep paying for subscriptions they don't use an average of 18 months longer when it's on auto pay versus when they have to manually process the payment. 18 months. At $40, that's $720 on a gym you don't even go to. And it's not just gyms, it's streaming services, apps, that premium Spotify you forgot you upgraded, the meal kit delivery you used twice. The average American, and this is from a West Monroe Partners study, has an average of $237 in monthly subscriptions they've completely forgotten about. That's almost $3,000 a year, just gone because cashless payments let you forget. Now here's what most people don't realize about this whole thing. It's not just affecting your bank account, it's rewiring how you value money itself. There's research out of Cornell that shows people who use primarily cashless payments develop what they call monopoly money syndrome. You start treating real dollars like game currency. The numbers become abstract.
$5, $50, $500, they all start feeling kind of the same because they're all just numbers on a screen. I saw this in my own life. I used to get a latte every morning, $4.50, tap my phone, done. Felt like nothing. Then one month, just as an experiment, I forced myself to pay cash for every single coffee. Had to break a 20, get change, put the bills in my wallet. By day 4, I was making coffee at home. Not because I couldn't afford it, I could, but because handing over a $5 bill every single morning made my brain go, wait, this is actually costing you real money. The physical act of paying activated the loss aversion part of my brain that had been completely asleep for years. Here's the math on that, by the way. $4.50 times 20 workdays a month is $90, times 12 months, $1,080 on coffee that I didn't even think I was spending that much on because it was just a tap. Now look, I know what some of you are thinking. Ansh, you can't live in the modern world only using cash. That's not realistic. And you're right, I'm not suggesting you stuff your mattress with 20s and live off the grid. But here's the thing, you need to build in artificial friction because the system has removed all the natural friction that used to protect you from overspending. Here's what actually works, and I'm basing this on both research and what I've personally done. First, the 24-hour rule for any purchase over $50. You see something you want, you add it to a list or save the link, you wait 24 hours. If you still want it and you've thought about it consciously, buy it. But you'd be shocked how many things you needed on Monday that you completely forgot about by Tuesday. This works because it reintroduces the time friction that cash used to provide. When you had to go to an ATM, withdraw money, go to a store, that time let your brain actually process whether you wanted something. Second thing, category-based spending alerts. Most banking apps let you set these up. You tell it, alert me every time I spend money on food or entertainment or whatever category you tend to overspend in. This creates a notification friction. Every time you spend, you get pinged. You can't forget about it. Your phone literally won't let you. Third, and this is the big one, schedule a weekly money date with yourself. 15 minutes, same time every week, where you sit down and actually look at every single transaction from the past 7 days. Not your balance, your transactions. You need to see the line items. This forces your brain to process each purchase as an individual decision, which is exactly what cashless payments are designed from you preventing from doing. And here's something kind of crazy that works for a lot of people. Use cash for your discretionary spending. Not everything, pay your rent online, obviously, but for the stuff that tends to creep up on you, coffees, lunches, random Amazon purchases, withdraw a set amount every week in cash. When it's gone, it's gone. You will spend less, not because you're restricting yourself, but because the physical act of handing over money activates the parts of your brain that actually evaluate whether something is worth it. There's a study from Dunn and Norton. They wrote this book called Happy Money, and they found that people who use cash for discretionary spending are not only more intentional about their purchases, they're actually happier with what they buy because they've thought about it. They've made a conscious choice. They're not just tapping their way through life on autopilot. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of effort just to avoid overspending a few $100s. But here's what I need you to understand. This isn't about a few $100s. If cashless payments are making you spend even 15% more than you would otherwise, and the research says it's probably more than that, and you spend $30,000 a year, that's $4,500 every year. For 10 years, $45,000. That's not coffee money. That's a down payment on a house. That's your kid's college fund. That's retiring 2 years earlier. The payment companies have spent billions of dollars making it easier to spend your money. They've hired neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists to design systems that bypass your rational decision-making. And it works. It works really, really well. But here's the thing. Once you know how it works, once you understand the game they're playing, you can opt out. You can build in your own friction. You can make conscious choices instead of unconscious ones. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about never tapping your card again. It's about being aware. It's about understanding that every time you make a purchase without feeling it, your brain is being tricked. And once you know the trick, you can't be tricked the same way anymore. So here's my challenge for you. For the next week, I want you to write down every single cashless payment you make. Not in an app. Physically write it down, pen and paper. The act of writing it will force your brain to process it as real. And at the end of the week, I want you to look at that list and ask yourself, how many of these would I have made if I had to pay cash? If this video made you rethink how you spend money, hit that like button and subscribe because we've got a lot more of this kind of stuff coming. And drop a comment. Tell me, what's the subscription you completely forgot you were paying for? I want to hear the horror stories. Let's learn from each other's financial mistakes so we can all get better at this together.